Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And this is Madden 17 Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. This is Steeler Nation, and this is episode 28 as we're taking a quick review of the AFC Divisional round, and of course give you a preview of that game right there, the AFC Championship game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So pretty great game there. Kind of scary at first for us between the Chargers and the Steelers. We'll get to that here in just a bit, but take a look here at the NFC Divisional game between the Falcons and Seahawks. Final score there, 31-21, and take a look at some of the scores here. Falcons had just a great day of being on the field and utilizing time. They defeat the 14-2 Seahawks. So the Seahawks season is over with. Really truly, I thought the Seahawks was going to be the team that we were going to be able to face in the Super Bowl if those two teams were able to see each other, because they actually matched up pretty well. It looked like a pretty interesting game there. Kind of a rematch of a Super Bowl a couple years ago they were in. That Ben was all, he went in, and of course he won. But there you see Thomas Ross. There's 16 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown there, and he's had a great year, and just could not put up the numbers like he had been in the previous weeks there. And of course, take a look at some others there in rushing, receiving. You see Curse there, 6 receptions, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. But the Falcons. Offense there, you take a look there, was just amazing. Had a pretty good game, and really just putting the hurt on the Seahawks in that game, and really just putting them in their place. Take a look there, just kind of scrolling down some of the numbers there, but unfortunately we won't be able to see the Seahawks there in the playoffs, which is a shame. Because, like I said, they matchup wise, looking at the numbers there for the regular season, they look like that was going to be the Super Bowl matchup. For a while they were almost undefeated. They were just like us, undefeated, hadn't been touched. But I think in the last 4 weeks or there, I think they lost 2 straight, and that's of course that ended their chances of going undefeated. And but they were able to get in the playoffs there. Of course, in the division, not the best division there out there in the NFC West, but they just had a great season. So you got to give them a round of applause for just having a remarkable season and coming up short. So Falcons will of course move on to the next round as you take a look there at their score. Now we take a look here at the opponents that we'll be facing next week. Here it's between Jacksonville and Kansas City, and there you see Kansas City winning the game 17-13, beating Jacksonville. Now remember, we played Jacksonville back in Week 17 and had a pretty good, decent game there. Blake Bortles had just an excellent performance there against us, but just wasn't enough. Now Johnny Manziel, there you see there, he was in the game for a little bit there, and of course he only had 1 pass, but Alex Smith, 2 touchdowns, 261 yards, 1 interception, and then of course Blake Bortles there, 1 touchdown, 402 yards there for him. Completed 70% or 72% of his passes were completed in that game. He got sacked twice. Alex Smith got sacked once, and that's something that for me personally, I would love to just hammer. Alex Smith, because personally I am not a Chiefs fan. I hate them for a passion, but I know that it's not going to be a easy, all cut, clean cut game, because you got Jamal Charles there. Of course, he had 49 yards there in the game, but of course against us, our rushing game, rushing defense is not per se spectacular at all. So we'll have to work on that. That's something that the Charger or the Steelers have been working on all this week on the defensive side, trying to shut him down. Of course, you got the Harris there, Coney, and also Who else? There was another Travis Kelce. So you got those guys there that are just great receivers, and of course you got Tamba, you got Houston and Baer there in the defensive side of the ball. So those guys, we're gonna have to really have a game plan for them, and then some matches we do, but we'll get into that a little bit later here in this episode here in Sports Steeler Nation. But yeah, just take a look there and just see there's some of those numbers there. Houston, of course, half a sack there. I'm not gonna really, I'm not gonna knock down the Chiefs defense because they do have a great defense this season. I looked at some of the scores there they had, and they were really just putting the hurt on their quarterbacks and really doing a great job of blitzing and throwing blitzes, not just just at random times. Really having their quarterback off kilter, and that's something that wouldn't take too much for us to happen to us because we've had, of course, been pressured a lot of times in games and throwing the ball away, and of course he's had several picks here this season. But we'll go ahead and see now the Charger or the NFC game. So the Falcons will be, I believe, taking on the Saints there, I think, in the next round there. But 2 touchdowns there for Breeze, 3 touchdowns for Manning, 1 interception in that game. Breeze, 290, 2 touchdowns there for him. Sacked once there. As for Manning, he was sacked twice in that game. Mark Ingram, 55 yards, 28 carries for 1 touchdown. And then, of course, there you see Bibbs, 8 carries, 20 yards there for him. He also had a touchdown there in that game. And take a look here at some of those. But, yeah, going back to that Chiefs game, Blake Bortles had another great performance there. When I see that matchup there, I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be his time. He's going to want to really get his chance to get back at us for that loss there in Week 17 when they came really. I mean, there was several times in that game where they could have easily beat us and gave us our loss there in the final week of the season. But we were able to claw back and keep fighting there and be able to keep them back from taking that game from us, and of course putting that blemish on our record. So hands down, I really thought that I'm like, yep. When I see that matchup, I was like, okay, Blake Bortles is gonna come back for revenge. He's gonna come back for blood in that game. But we were lucky enough that he did not. The Chiefs were able to stop him. Now we have even more of a threat now because now the Chiefs are gonna be playing us, and we're gonna have to see what we can do against them because they, like I said, they've had a really great defense there that's kept them in games, and so they're gonna. I really see that they're gonna have. It's gonna be a true battle. I don't think either one of their defenses here today in next week's game will be around because they'll be so battered and bruised. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a high-scoring game. But then again, like I said, they have a good defense here. We, at times, when it comes to stuff like that, we might have a defense that might actually step up. Since this week we didn't, we were able to put them away. The Chargers here, as you see there, we win this one 56-27. We were able to do some damage there in the fourth quarter. And it really all kind of started there towards the end of the second quarter there. You see there we scored 21 points. 7 of those points were from the defense. They scored a touchdown there towards the last minute and a half or so in that quarter, and were able to, Rockwell had that interception there from Ben and from Phillip, and we're able to run that one back for a pick 6. So that really kind of jump started things, and then of course got things going for us in the third quarter where we scored twice there. And Rivers just they didn't use their running game really not until late into the third quarter, where of course Hill had that big run. His second one, which was like I think a 59-yard run on us. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes here as we go along here. The course of the season, because Hill there you see 16 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I really did. I thought at that the first 2 plays of that first drive there, I was thinking to myself, like, this is gonna be a day. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get him, and then not to mention on offense, we're gonna see how we have to get down the field here, because if we can't get down the field as quickly as they can, they're gonna use that running game on us, and it's gonna be a tough day trying to stop that run. But there you see 22 carries, 83 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for Cobb. A modest day right there for him, and really glad to see that he did that. He was able to, especially the blocking there, run blocking. They've stepped up from week to week. Of course, like I said, we was going to utilize the fullback some. We're going to put him in in some plays we had him in the halfback position, but a lot of those that at least that one touchdown that he had, Johnson had, that was from the fullback position there. So like I said, we're planning on doing the same thing because we do want to use our running game a lot more. Because next week we will not have Bell in our backfield. We won't have Bell until probably should be the Super Bowl, if we make it to the Super Bowl, and that's just that right there. That's just the assumption if we make it that far. So we'll have to see how we do that. Defensively here, not too many big plays. The only person really on defense I could say that really broke out was Hayward there. He had 3 sacks. 5 tackles, 3 sacks. And I think maybe a tackle for a loss or 2 there. Yeah, he had 2 tackles for loss. So great day there from him. And he were able, like I said, got the quarterback ready. You see his numbers there: 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks for him. Manti Te'o, 16 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and then he had a sack there. He had a great day. He was everywhere on the field, and that was just really amazing. Of course, Rockwell and Mitchell both having interceptions. Of course, Rockwell taking that one interception he had and take it back for a pick 6. Like I said, that kind of jump-started and got things rolling for us there in the second quarter, as we had a 8-point lead going into the half. So great performance there from those guys. Now we're going to take a look here. There you see the matchups there. It's going to be the Falcons and Saints. Saints will host the Falcons there. Of course, the 2 teams, they see each other twice a year. This will be the 3rd time they'll see them. So that should be a really interesting game there. I would say there would probably be no defense at all that game. So both defenses, go ahead and take a week off, because it's just not going to be offensive showing there. But I'd be surprised if it is if it's a low-scoring game. My guess would be probably be a 24-17 game. But as for us, this will be the first time we've played the Chiefs this season. Now, we played Chiefs last season and had a successful run. I think it was a Monday night game. We won that one. But we have not played them this season. There you see 10-6 there. There you see the road wins there, 5. Road losses, 3. So, they can win on the road. They have no problem coming into someone's house and causing trouble. There you see some of the other wins there, the wins and losses from the AFC and NFC, and of course overtime, and all the other statistics there that you can kind of break it even more down into. But yeah, I really think that they're going to use Jamal Charles as much as possible. If we do stop Charles, then I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing Connolly and Macklin in that backfield, or in the wide receivers position there, a lot in the slot. It's like that, a lot of short passes. Again, if we can get a hold of Alex Smith and just really rough him up, I think Tyler Bray will be their next quarterback behind him, or we could see Johnny Football. That'll be the first time I actually got to face him in this, really in any game, really. So Manziel wouldn't be surprised if he comes in the game. There you see some of their guys that are out. Fisher, of course, one of the main ones there. of course, the halfback. They got a Chadwick or West there, hurt with a rotator cuff. But yeah, Eric Fisher, left tackle, they're one of the prominent, really great left tackles in the NFL. He's out for the rest of the season there, as you see there, that compound foot fracture. So we're gonna have to try, I think what we're gonna try to do, if their left side is vulnerable and it's weak, that's the side I think we're gonna start just really blitzing on. So we're gonna really pound that blitz and try to get at Alex Smith. There you see 6'4", 217 pounds, 12th year from Utah, and like I said, Alex Smith. Now he is good he's good. He has good footwork. He can scramble when he needs to there, and like I said, that'll be something that I think I would like to have him do. Come out of the pocket, and if he can't find him, but if it's good coverage there, we're blanketing him in coverage, and he can't throw down the field. I want him to kind of fish him out and come out, and because like I said, we'll utilize a man coverage, or not a man coverage. We'll utilize a spy, and whenever he moves, if he moves no more than if he moves a yard, I want my guy to come in and one of my defensive players can come in and knock him down. So Jamal Charles, we're gonna, like I said, really I know they're gonna utilize the running game there. Charles still one of the predominant great halfbacks right now in the league, and one of the dangerous ones. And usually I don't do too well against him. He usually has a pretty good game against me. So again, really stacking the box there and really put some pressure on them. Like I said, I want them to really have to force Alex to throw the ball down the field, because I want to see these corners do something. I want to test them and see if we can do what they're supposed to. What my idea was for this season was really some man-to-man matchups there with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think with the Chiefs matchups here, we'll see here in a bit, like Macklin. I think we match up pretty well against them with their wide receivers and our corners. I think we had overall. I think the matchup we're gonna win that when it's a jump ball situation. We got two young corners there that are gonna be playing, and they're hungry. They said that they're looking forward to this, being matched up with Jeremy Macklin and also Coney, who we'll see here in a bit, and look at his numbers there. But yeah, you see Macklin, just a great route runner, and we're just hoping that we can, utilize those corners and like we've been wanting to all season long, and it just put pressure on them. I think those guys are ready to put a good hit on these Chiefs wide receivers there, just to let them know, hey, we know what you can do, and we know how you can do it, and we're going to make sure we're going to shut you down and make sure you don't do that. So it should be, like I said, a good matchup there. Chris Connolly, there you see his numbers there, 2-year guy from Georgia. We do want to match up with them. We do want to play physical with them. So that there's going to be some really good physical play between that great matchup between safeties, or between corners and receiver. Other than that, they're on now for us. I think we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try to run. Not gonna run a lot. We're gonna probably. My guess would be we're gonna try to utilize the short game. Throw. I think in this game I almost for certain that we're gonna probably use our tight ends a lot more. So you'll probably see a lot of catches coming towards Green and really to James. I think last game, I think we kind of had James as a decoy, and he utilized it. We utilized him pretty well there in a lot of clutch situations there, really on third down and stuff like that. I think we'll try to do the same here in that game. There you see D'Anthony Thomas. I forgot about him. Yeah, he's another one that is just a great receiver that we're just going to have to really shut down, and just linebacker, especially if he comes across the middle, because I know a couple of games there I've noticed I've seen at least scouting wise, we looked at tape, he's been really good at going up around the middle there. So we're going to try to see if we can put him and really put him on his butt there, knock him down, and just really put a good hit on them. The linebackers, like I said, this week in practice, have been looking at a lot of game film and noticed that they love using him up the middle there, just like they did in the Jacksonville game. There, we seen some game film there, and they really, they took advantage of that, and that defense just wasn't ready for it. Travis Kelce, of course, another great player there, and a great tight end. One of the great tight ends that Kansas City is kind of known for. Last couple of years there, you see Kelce, 85 speed there. Great catch, great just route running there for a tight end. But yeah, we're going to try to see again. This is one of Alex's favorite targets besides Macklin and Coney. This is his other favorite tag. This is the closest guy to him, and this is a guy that he could, especially in the red zone there. That's something we're gonna have to watch out for. And again, just try to put him try to get him out of position there when they throw to him. Now, for the Chiefs defense there, now I will say again, their defense it's a great defense. They got a lot of moving parts there, and one of them is Poe, and on the line there, he can on a good day, just take a look at his strength there, his tackle. He can come in there and rough us up there. Finesse moves, not the greatest speed, not really there, but if for whatever reason, if we get out of the pocket there, he will put a good licking on us there, and we're gonna try to see where of course our job, offensive line there, is to keep Ben upright, let Ben have enough time to look down the field and get him to his pass to his receivers. So Poe, he's one of those guys, and also too, Poe's really good. He will, if you've seen highlight film, he will jump up and put his hands up there. So we got to make sure we have a clear passing lane any time that we throw down the field. Of course, Justin Houston there, 6-year guy from Georgia, one of the staples of the linebacker position there, one of the great linebackers that the Kansas City Chiefs had, and getting better and better year in and year out. And there you see his numbers there. And we're just have to give Ben plenty of time here, and try to change up some formations there. I'm thinking about changing some guys up on different plays. One play have Coach and them on the right side, and the next play you may have it on the left. Just kind of mix things up and get them out of sync there when it comes to learning our formation. So I have been in the playbook purposely changing guys up, guys that would be in a slot position, put them on the outside, put the guys from the outside, put them in the slot, and that'll be for every formation, and a lot of times play. So you'll probably see a lot of man in motion, going from left to right or right to left, and either a slant route or some kind of out route there. We've been working on here in this past week here, getting ready for this game for the Chiefs. So a lot of game planning here for these guys, because I really and a guy like him, like Derek Johnson there, who can just sniff out a defensive play there or offensive play there, and just know exactly, okay, they're doing this or whatever. Kind of want to just have them unbalanced. I don't want them to be too comfortable out there on the field. I want them to, and that's another thing. Time possession is going to be really key for us this week. Try to keep them in check there, and keep them out there as long and as possible as we can. Tamba Ali, one of the great players there. Kind of getting off the subject here for a little bit here, but over the summer, if you guys don't know, I think I mentioned it several times here on the channel, but I help out with the Chiefs camp. Help feed them and set things up for like lunches and dinners and stuff like that. And Tamba, I got a chance to talk to him again this year, and it was kind of funny. He was asking about what I was going to be doing for Madden this year, because I told him I had this YouTube channel and stuff like that, and I told him, I said, well, actually, I haven't really decided yet what team we're going to use yet or not. I was like, I try to change it up. I try to go from AFC to NFC and NFC to AFC. Try to go back in and out. Excuse me, in and out of the conferences. And I told myself, well, actually, I have you. I said, well, I have. I'm still working on this. I'm working on the Steelers franchise, finishing it up before Madden 18 comes out. And I said, I have you guys come up with the playoffs there. And he kind of chuckled about it and whatnot. So. And I told him, I was like, hey, the video will be up here soon, and stay tuned for it. I said, because I got some ideas and some plans for you guys what I'm going to utilize how I'm going to do it and whatnot. And I told him what my situation was and whatnot. And he's like, oh, we would have you. Don't get confused on the rating there. So it was really cool. I got a chance to talk with him, and of course Eric Berry, another great guy here. And again, try to avoid passing in his direction. Because there you see 7 years in the league, and from Tennessee, and he's got great speed there, and decent tackle, but his play recognition is key right there. He knows when he sees a pass there, he can get to it. He's going to take it, and he's going to take it the other direction. So that right there, defensive, that's one thing I'm worried about. It's just with Ben's interceptions, numerous amounts of interceptions he had this season. This could be the player that will finally put the nail in the coffin on us, and really, I mean, if we don't have, they've shut us down the running game, and then we throw a lot of passes here. I mean, I'm gonna try to throw many passes to get myself out of that, the interception blunder that we had this year. But yeah, too many of those, and Chiefs will have us. They will have us by the hair there, and we'll be going kicking and screaming, trying to get into the Super Bowl and come up short. So we'll have to see how that goes here coming up in the next episode. So there you see the matchup for us is going to be Kansas City, the 10-6 Chiefs, take on the 16-0 Steelers there in the next episode. So episode 48 will be the AFC Championship game. We'll see that one here on the channel here very soon. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see if we can move on and continue this undefeated in this magical season that we're having so far with these Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why I want to say Chargers for. Jeez. But we'll see them come up here. We'll see the Steelers take on the Chiefs here very soon. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here on ESGNet. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You guys can check us out there to get the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what's going on in the world of sports gaming. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.